The Redeemer has risen.
Hey, what is up, guys? Master here, coming to do a video commentary. Now, guys, I'll tell you what, okay? I played 3 hours versus Futurama. I recorded 3 hours, but then I discovered there was no sound recording. Unfortunately, I recorded 3 hours of footage. Some of the games are actually pretty good as well, and I found out that the game sound just wasn't on. Nor was my microphone audio recording either, so that really sucked. But I'm going to get some games casted between Futurama and Drive live as we speak. I did get bashed by Futurama, guys. Got completely smashed by him. But yeah, it was like 30 degrees in this environment I'm in then. I'm not going to lay down those excuses though. Nonetheless, it's going to be a Zocom mirror on Stusa. A Zocom mirror on Stusa? Quite interesting. No artillery for either side. So it's going to be difficult penetrating into these narrow choke points in the corners. There's nothing really to shoot over here. In the late game, it's mostly going to come down to Firehawk v Firehawk and Marv v Marv. I think Firehawks are going to be quite pivotal in this matchup, but yeah, up here in the top, playing as the red we can see figure. And the cyan is always Futurama. He seems to love this color for some reason. Futurama playing really well today, actually. I was surprised by it. Either that or I played really dreadful. But maybe for the best that my games didn't record properly. Did make an announcement at the beginning of that VOD. I wanted to say that I'm going to be playing the remasters, as probably most of you all are. So expect content to come on the remastered C&C games. May get streamed, though it depends if my internet is stable or not. If not, guys, then I will upload a playthrough of the campaigns of those games. Supposedly there's a hard mode, which is much harder than C&C3 and Kane's Wrath. So yeah, I believe it. I'm not sure what there is as far as strategy goes, or if it's just all about APM. But I guess it depends also on the speed, the game speed. Like, I'm not sure if you can adjust game speeds in the campaign mode. I mean, if you could, it would be a lot easier, right? But yeah, either side going to go for their expansion. No, in fact, it's just going to be Futurama. Drive's going to go for infantry. What is Drive doing? He's going for a armory. But he would need to go for grenades, right, to clear these buildings out. Because if he doesn't do that, then Futurama can just garrison all these up. But look, Drive's already fought in advance. He's already garrisoned the buildings near to Futurama's base. So, going to be able to secure this part of the map. Futurama probably has a tier 2 queued. I think he needs to go for AP ammo to deal with Tiberium field suit infantry. Such a pain in the ass killing this. Either that or he goes for snipers, but you know, these buildings will be good refuge for these units once they're snipers on the field. What is Futurama going to do? He's going for APCs. Drives off to a really good start in this game because Futurama has decided to omit the AP ammo. So he feels he can hold this off without it. I mean, he would need to spam towers, which he's doing. I feel that he made the judgment that there wouldn't be overwhelming sums of infantry. Maybe Drive was hoping that there would be AP ammo so that he delays his expansion. But yeah, Drive's a bit behind now. He's going to go for his 6th harvester. He's transitioned away from this random predator tanks and APCs coming out. A sniper team as well for Drive, so maybe he was expecting the snipers for Futurama. I mean, if you're not going AP ammo, then snipers is really the only other thing. You could use these for scouting, the sniper teams. But yeah, what an interesting game thus far, though. Really, how many times do you see Zocom mirrors on small town USA? I have no idea what I'm looking at here. I thought it was just going to be Firehawks and the Marv, but no, it's going to be infantry v infantry. Futurama is doing the same thing, man. He's going for missiles, but he's already up against missile squads. So what are they meant to counter exactly? There's not much armor on the field. He needs to go for snipers, I think. But I don't think he has an armory. In fact, he does. He's going for... He's already got the composite armor. Or what it's called for Zocom, Tiberium field suits. Futurama going to move to attack Drive. But yeah, he needs grenades to deal with these buildings here. Unless he wants to DPS them down. No APO for Drive. So that means these... garrisons will be allowed to do quite a bit of damage. Not fully garrisoned though, just a couple are. Up on the top of the map we can see some infantry and APCs going to go in for an attack. You should be able to kill a sizable amount of harvesters here. I mean, there's no AP ammo online, nor does he have a tier 2 as of right now. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good, I guess. He could have gone in, maybe killed some more units. He is Zocom. Zocom infantry don't take Tiberium exposure, so he could have just sat them in the tip field and just fired away at the harvesters, at least delay it a bit more. Drive's doing really well here, man. Look, he's well ahead in eco. He's got 4 and 2, happily mining away. Though having said that, it looks like Drive or Futurama got his eco back up and running again. He didn't delay it too much. A lot of positioning here in this game. Drive, he's not attacking from 2 sides. In fact, he's coming in from the bottom as well. Going to be a multi-pronged attack in the south. No AP ammo. That's pretty much the upgrade, the crucial upgrade that everyone needs. And if you guys weren't knowing what this game is, you probably think it's Tiberium Wars because there's no AP ammo. It's just mass infantry versus mass infantry of APCs. The only upgrade we can see is the tip field suits, and that is really paying dividends here. Rifles not in plentiful supply for neither side. They're just going to fire away at each other. Drive has more to lose though because he has these pred tanks. But yeah, Futurama is going to be pushed back, which is pretty good for Drive. Unless Futurama has a sonic emitter queued, I think he's in a bit of a problem. Drive going to go for double airfield hammerheads. He did this versus me. Actually, no, I won't mention what he did versus me. But he's going to push back. I feel he probably feels that he's made the right choice here. Having said that, Futurama went for a tech. He isn't going for hammerheads. He went straight for the tier 3. So if he goes for firehawks or gets tungsten, then this transition to air could be very disastrous for Drive. The hammerhead transition only works versus GDI if you know they're going for infantry or something like that. Because by the time it hits, the GDI guy, the opponent can already have firehawks out, which, you know, blasts them out of the sky. Hammerheads coming in for Drive. He's got 2 here, probably. I've noticed he likes to spam airfields just to make his hammerheads come out a little quicker, but then sell them afterwards. It can really make you overspend if you radar scan the triple airfield or the double airfield, because it makes you think that there's going to be loads of hammerheads, but he does that sometimes just to make 3 or 4. So you can overspend on the wrong unit. But yeah, hammerheads are out here. He's going to try and find an opening. Futurama is well aware of what it is. He's going to go for anti-air. Does he have the upgrade online? No, he doesn't. He hasn't got tungsten shells just yet. Maybe he's forgotten about it. These Zocom hammerheads will require it because they do have a lot of armor with the ceramic armor. But yeah, guys, I really wanted to bring an FPV to you all, but unfortunately not to be. It's going to be me casting. Probably not going to be anywhere near as good as, say, Cybert casting. But hey, it's better than nothing, right? I really wanted to get some games out. But I'll just cast these 2. In fact, I probably don't want to play more games tonight because, yeah, pretty mad after knowing or learning that my recording didn't have sound on it. But yeah, Drive's going to fly with these hammerheads. No firehawks just out yet for Futurama. There is a threat of firehawks. Marv is out here for Futurama, so this game is definitely nowhere near decided yet for either side. Futurama forgot on a harvester here, could cost him, does rectify it quickly. Mass infantry and hammerheads coming in. Oh my god. This is where Drive's PC starts to lag, I know, because yeah, he has this laptop, man, and he keeps having problems with it. When he has a lot of units on screen, especially infantry units, they tend to tax the CPU a lot more. I mean, Kane's only uses 1 core, so I mean, what I mean is single core, right? But wow, Drive's just going to punch a hole straight through this army. There's no anti-infantry, that's the thing, right? He's also got M grenades, so if he just gets one of them down, it's pretty much over. This came from the sold off tech center, so there's going to be no shockwave artillery on these infantry, nor any orbital strikes. This could be pretty disastrous for Futurama. He doesn't have his Marv garrison. Maybe if he gets some sniper teams out, it would be fine, but there's hammerheads above, mass infantry below. Double A comes down. He only has 1 MCV though. Double MCV is what he really needed there, and AP ammo. I'm surprised he didn't get it. He had a tier 3, which means he had the opportunity to get that upgrade. My bad, he does actually have AP ammo. Didn't actually couldn't tell for a while, but yeah, Zocom Infantryman, super effective. There's no Juggernauts out, which means it's a pretty fair fight, you have to admit, when either side have the upgrades that they, when the either side have the Juggernauts, right? And typically GI mirrors end up being Jug v Jug anyways, all the time, unless it's Tournament Dust Bowl. That map's kind of weird because, yeah, it's left v right. One of the rare instances where you find yourself in that position. Small Town USA and maps like this also produce like unique games as well, because, you know, how many times do you play on these maps? Not many at all. Especially nowadays, I think players are scared away from them just because you have to play differently, and they probably don't have a tried and true strategy for this map. They probably don't have the experience on playing on these maps. I know for sure that I probably wouldn't be as comfortable on this map because, yeah, man, you just don't play it enough. But you need to get out of your comfort zone now and then. Oh my god, this map's definitely go down. Look at all that rocket damage coming down. That is gonna be a dead mob, and with it, has Futurama got anything left in the tank? He's got eco. He's only got 3 harvesters actually, so not too good for Futurama. What is Futurama doing? He's just going to give in, and Drive just takes that game, man. Wow. With the fast infantry. I think Futurama held that back really poorly in the beginning. That wasn't a good idea what he did there with going for the APCs without AP ammo. He really needed the AP ammo. Alright guys, game number 2 between these two. Again, I'm just going to cast because I feel like casting, okay? Glad I'm getting these games. And as I've noticed, there's more players online as we're drawing nearer and nearer to this remastered launch. I've seen Aeonian online, I've seen Geopanopy online, I've seen Phoenix online, for God's sake. I mean, he was online just hours ago. He got to see me get owned by Futurama. Yeah, I would have posted those games as well. But again, I just didn't have sound, okay? I'm not going to post that. Because there would be no sound, right? But what's the matchup going to be for these two this time? Of course, I can't spoil anything because we're live. You can see units moving through the player status screen. Futurama is going to be on the left side, playing as Steel Talons, and Drive down here as Reaper 17. At least he's not Traveler 59. But he's going to go for the stock, standard, tried true to since on this map. Very, very effective. Futurama seen it probably a billion times, as haven't we all. Such a low risk thing to do. Descent's very powerful. You can imagine Traveler ones, when they had the speed upgrade, were quite oppressive with that HP of these descents here. Yeah. I always wanted Traveler ones to be called a different name because they were statted differently, because the HP is worse on the Traveler descents. But yeah, enough with that. We have Futurama, who's going to be here with 4 or 5 minute rifles. This is what Wookiebert did back in the day. This is who popularized this. Scout the bottom and the top, and then bring all your scouts together in the middle so you can kill the enemy descents, because that's really the only thing that will come from a screen player. They don't have as many options compared to Black Hand or GDI or Nod. Really the only rush they can do is with disintegrators. So as long as you keep your rifle squads together versus a screen faction early on, you should be fine against descents. But yeah, Drive, Futurama is going to be pretty happy with that. He's going to send a harvester out to the blue tip. Not going to put anything in it. Probably could send a rifle squad in there. But yeah, I mean, the most he could do is ping out a shield off a harvester. Not too much more. He's going to be up here, going to clean up the buzzers, so going to disallow the scouts. This will keep Drive in the dark, and Drive probably knows that Steel Talons are at a disadvantage, so the likelihood of some cheese coming is pretty high. It's not going to be a rig push, because let's face it, I'm the only one who does that. Actually had quite a decent success rate with the rig when I did it. The last FPV I posted, where I did the War Factory on the front, like the front of my build radius of my AMCV. I think that was a good idea because it made my Pred tanks arrive at the base sooner. But yeah, enough with that. Enough with the rig leaf. You always have to mention the rig whenever you cast, even though it's completely irrelevant. But you just have to mention it, don't you? But yeah, with this, we should talk more about this game, right? Titans coming out because they're Seekers en route to his natural expansion. He sent in a Titan before, a 6th Harvester, which means he probably did this on 5 Harvesters, which he did. Futurama gonna be fine here against any Seeker push. He's also Steel Talon, so he can shield this out with silos, with barracks. Nothing going on over here, just a rifle squad. No MRT APC engineer. That would be pretty devastating if you could sneak one around the back. Had a few games where I had done that, worked really well. I think it was against Green Zero. But yeah, ecoing from either side. This push didn't do anything, and I think if you don't achieve anything with the push as Reaper 17, you just get behind. But yeah, the push is coming in. Harvester will probably... it's going to live. I mean, there's 2 Titans here. He just needs to focus on the Seekers that are wounded. Seekers have really crappy armor, but it doesn't really matter if the Seekers go in amongst the buildings because, yeah, Titans can shoot over them. These Seekers will get cleared up. There's nothing up in the top, though, so I guess he will be forced to put down another tower. No, another Titan does come out. What is Drive doing in the meantime? He needs to use this valuable time to get tech up. He's going for a crane, man. I guess he's going for a crane because of this Firehawk thing. You need to get more macro out. If you can't deal with the Firehawks, you need to make sure that you can spam refineries and spam Seekers in enough quantities to make up for the fact that you're in tier 1. If I were him though, I would prioritize on getting the tier 3 down quickly because Futurama is one of those guys who will go for Firehawks. In fact, he's probably already working on the upgrade for the Firehawks, the Stratofighter boosters. He's going to be up here with the airfield. Don't even think that Drive's seen it. He will see it now. He could throw down a stasis shield if he desires. That's always an option for him to do. But what's he going to do? Drive's going to be up here. Going to get down an expansion. Shard Walkers for him as well. He's going to spam those out. Going to get the 10-rated force fields probably because he anticipates this tech set won't last unless he sends his gun walkers in here to stall the Firehawks from being made. Does Futurama have a tech queue? Yes, he does. He's a bit late on it, I feel. Drive's already got a third field. He's got his MCV there, which means he probably will have a refinery almost done as well. I'll be surprised if he does. Yeah, look at that, man. He is pretty ahead of Futurama. Futurama may have to go for another airfield so he can accelerate the production of the Firehawks. Otherwise, he's just going to get Drive's just going to get the upgrade online. He's not even queuing the Shard Launcher upgrade for his Seekers because, you know, once you lose your tech, the only real option for you as a screen player is Seekers. And those aren't too shabby against Steel Talons. Unless they spam Wolverines, in that case, you're just going to get massacred. Yeah, these Titans, though, will get torn up. No, not quite. Hammerhead does come in to save the day. Will scare back those descents. Actually, did he get adaptive armor? No, it's just because he's cyan. Like, it looks weird. It seems like he's got the upgrade. He probably is going for it, though. He's going for railguns at the moment. Going to spam those Mav tanks out. Does he have a third field? No, he does not. He's actually faked the Firehawks, which means that future Drive's overspent on a load of gun walkers that he doesn't need now. He will probably transition now, knowing that there's a lot of railgun units on the field, so yeah, he needs to make something to deal with those now. This will probably be Shard launchers, I would imagine, but if there's no aircraft, then what good is this? It's $2,500 he just wasted. It's not going to be a tripod. No, it's not going to be the shield, so he just wasted money there. Actually, no, he went for the wise choice and upgraded his Shard Walkers. That's actually a really clever idea because Shard Walkers will help you in a fight. It's not static. He's already got a load of them on the field though. They're not going to do too much against Titans and Mammoth tanks, so yeah. But yeah, he's going to come down here, Futurama, with a bunch of Titans. I don't think this is scouted. There is a storm column here for Drive, but I think that'll get focused down quickly. Futurama has seen this though, so it's up to him if he wants to engage it. He needs to get adaptive armor online. Just a few descents here to scout. He should be able to deal with that quite promptly. Mammoth tanks as well being produced. A lot of them up in the top field. Descents will be annoying. He needs some hammerheads in the top to assist with his Mammoth tanks. I do feel that if he goes in with a line like he's doing here, he should be able to do some pretty major damage. Power plants will be going down, which means that he won't be able to use the stasis shield because, you know, he's going to be low on power. Will retreat though, just because of the descents. He needs to bring in some hammerheads. He needs to bring in some Wolverines, I feel. Hammerheads against the Shard launcher, the Shard gun walkers will be just torn up completely. That's unfortunate. Should have microed a bit better there. He's going to focus down the tripods now, but he's just getting overrun. The Titans have made their way in the back though. There's nothing here. So yeah, I mean, it's a huge deal, right, that he lost his army. In fact, no, Drive got completely caught by this. So yeah, he's going to not defend his base. He's not going to bother trying. He's going to use the stasis shield. I think he'll be quite happy to see that. He's going to pull in some tripods to try and hold this back. Mav Tank's reinforcing in here for Futurama. If he comes in here, then that's going to be disastrous for Drive. I think he may be forced to pull back. There's just too many Mav Tanks here. They have the 8 redactive armor. Uses the railgun accelerators as well. In fact, uses all the support powers. The Scrim player is now out of support powers. There's only one. Oh my god, if he loses his tech center, that's going to be massive. Titans do have more damage, by the way, compared to railgun Predator tanks. Will this tech center go down? It will just about go down. You could probably take out the storm column as well, but yeah, I mean, he would just go back. There's a storm column down here as well. I think he got what he hoped for there. He destroyed the tier 2 and the tier 3. Futurama's going to be really pleased about that. He's going to be sitting comfortable here with a load of eco. He's also got loads of Mav tanks. In fact, he's in a better position in this game now. Nice flank in the bottom of the map with the Titans. That really did catch Drive by surprise. But yeah, that phase field, man, it lasts forever, doesn't it? It takes forever to wear off. Maybe a few MRTs will be mixed in, could be mixed in here just to, you know, heal this army up, because a lot of those Mav tanks are damaged. I'm not going to bring up the health bars just because it looks prettier without them on. I mean, I could, but yeah, it makes more sense, I suppose, when you're playing the game. Wow, he's going for shock troopers. This could only be shock troopers. You're not going to see Ravagers, right? Unless it's 1.03. I have been playing 1.03 lately. CGF's introduced me to it. In fact, I knew of it since a long time ago, but it's definitely a breath of fresh air when it comes to gameplay and the meta, because you know the meta is pretty fixed in stone when it comes to 1.02 plus. But yeah, I had considered this matchup to be really in favor of the Reaper 17, just because the Reaper tripods, when fully upgraded, they're just so powerful. Another railgun accelerator does come down on the Mav tank's recharge ability. The cooldown on that is just insane. These Mav tanks though have got a pretty decent concave. It's really hard though with the Mav tanks because they're so cumbersome and so heavy. But yeah, he will just about be able to take this army out once the Mav tanks end up in such huge numbers in a pretty decent line. Then they will be able to tear up the tripods. The tripods will go down, but I thought there was only like 3 or 4 there. Unfortunately, Drive does fall in that game, and yeah, Futurama takes it. Wow, that was really well played to Futurama, taking out all of those, faking the Firehawks, right, was a really good idea, because he made Drive overspend massively into Shardwalkers, and then it was just useless against the railguns. Alright guys, we're now on Tournament Galaxy. Not sure how many games I'm going to cast, but I'm going to cast quite a few, I guess, because yeah, these guys are just entertaining to watch. I know Cybert, when he casts the games, he has a certain standard for replays. I understand that, but I just like watching the games to see what the players are going to do, see if I can learn anything myself as a player. But I don't think there really is too much more to learn in this game anymore, just because of the stagnance of the metagame. But I did try to shake it up, as you saw in the previous few months. But yeah, last game, well played to Futurama. He did really well there with a fake out. Drive, I think this is almost certainly going to be Drive. Yeah, figure typing in Russian down in the corner. He's going to be Steel Talons. Sorry, what? That's going to be Zocom and his opponent. Futurama is going to be G-Die Vanilla. Wow, that's not a good matchup to be on this map, of one of the campiest maps in the game. I think that Futurama, Drive needs to make a push happen, but against another G-Die player who has the same units as you, it's just going to be hard, because you're going to be up against the defender's advantage. He needs to make something happen with air, Zorkas, Hammerheads, but yes, G-Die anti-air is just so good, isn't it? Probably one of the best in the game. Yeah, especially if you consider the supersonic airstrike and the Firehawks, right? That is just probably the best anti-air you can get. Watchtower does come down to prevent the Foxhole, because you don't want your opponent to see the War Factory, because it will freak him out a bit. Will force maybe a pitbull on 4 harvesters, which will, you know, delay the 5th harvester. And yeah, you can get ahead economically that way. It just spooks the other guy out. G-Die has more options really when it comes to cheesing in this part of the game. I don't think Futurama will be too concerned about scouting Drive, just because Drive only can make pitbulls as really his only harassment options. I mean, he could go for double War Factory. I bet you Futurama would never expect a double War Factory pitbull, just because it's really unusual for Zocom to pressure so early. I guess you could make something happen with it. I know that rigs are possible with Zocom, but they don't have orcas, so yeah, that's kind of an option that you're missing with the rig. Steel Talons, nor is it any good with Steel Talons because the Bloodhound's ability costs $500 more, and that messes with the timing of it because you need to wait additional second or two before you can get those Wolverines out. And Wolverines don't shoot and move, which is unfortunate. I do consider the APCs to be better, even though the Wolverines have higher damage. The APCs just have better armor. They're just more resilient in my opinion. But yeah, Futurama is going to be here. He's going to be ecoing up. This, of course, is Tournament Galaxy. It's hard to make any sort of like push work early on. It is a very campy map, but we're going to see whether or not these guys can adjust to this. I think Drive needs to consider something other than what he's doing with ecoing. He probably can go for a crane push. I don't know. I mean, maybe double or triple MCV. Drop sonic emitters in your opponent's base sort of strategy would work. I feel that you definitely need to do something along those lines, or you get Firehawks out, but the problem with Firehawks is against another Jedi faction, they can just use sonic repulsion field and instantly double the health of a building, like the tier 3. That is something that's really OP, always has been. Probably one of the reasons why Zocom sucks so much in a lot of matchups, just because it's so hard to make use of those Firehawks against factions that aren't Scrim. That's why we say that Zocom's good versus Scrim, because their one strength is actually good in that matchup. Scrim are very vulnerable to Firehawks, no ability to increase the HP of their buildings. They're going to crawl here, Futurama. He's in no danger of getting one click because there is no nod player on this map. And what do we have over here for Drive? He's going to go for a Pred APC. Yeah, as I mentioned in the start, he needs to make some sort of push happen against another GDI, against GDI vanilla. Because ultimately it'll just come down to Jug v Jug. Infantry being spawned here. He's going to get the Tiberium field suits. Scout coming in though. For Futurama, he's going to get eyes on what is coming. He's going to see everything here. I mean, it's just one of those things, right? When you play random, you just have to accept that you can get a really bad matchup on this map, especially Drive for some reason is Q moving back as well. Futurama has got AP ammo online already, so he's already predicted this would come. Quite a number of Pred APCs here. If he could go in for the crush with the Preds if he wanted to, if it was just infantry. Preds mixed in with infantry though for Drive. Yeah, he's going to be coming up here with a bunch of pitbulls. He can't go for hammerheads now just because I feel that it's too late, because there's going to be Firehawks out and tungsten shells. Though Drive he's going to drive straight into the enemy Preds with the pitbulls. Actually doesn't have enough DPS anymore to do any damage. Pitbulls aren't like bikes, they just don't have the firepower. You need so many of them to really kill stuff. Unless you get mortars, then in which case they become like flame tanks, right, with the mortar upgrade. You need a bunch of them though, but they have been really, really good. Green Zero back in the day used to make great use of that. Used to kill my tech all the time with the mortars, and that was really annoying. It wasn't the Firehawks, it was the freaking mortar pitbulls, because he made nothing but those, but then it was because of the mortars, man. Like, people forget that that is a thing. Don't see bike making mass mortar pits. Oh my god, there's a Mar facility here. Was that really wise putting it there though? I guess he feels that it's okay because he has enough forces. I don't know about that, man. I think Futurama could have gone in. For some reason, the sniper team's been called in, I guess because of the infantry. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Oh dear. Dear. Does Drive have more MCVs? No, he doesn't. Actually, he's got triple MCV, but the one thing that he hasn't got is refining on his third field. This sonic emitter can do real work if units stack up, because there's a bug where units stack up, take like triple damage. It's a bug, right? Like, it's always existed, but it can be quite devastating. MCV will be coming in. Juggernauts are out. He's probably only got one war factory. He's told his... Oh man, if he kills this here... Oh man, look at that. Instantly died. I think that was a bug there that contributed to that. MCV will be under siege. He needs to fence that like right now, man. What is Drive doing? This MCV will be destroyed. He can't afford to lose this, man. Oh my god, what's he doing? I have no idea what he's doing, man. This is not... What is he focused on right now? He's getting his Marv out. Oh, that was unfortunate. He could have just fenced that and prolonged that a little longer. 1 or 2 Sonic emitters could have easily dealt with that there. Railguns has been completed for Futurama. I don't think the damage was done. He's trying to build these Juggernauts, but they're just getting camped straight out of the War Factory. Drive. Futurama is trying to get those Jugs out. He's got one out now. It's just keeping those numbers down, man. Like, if he can do that, then he should be fine. Futurama, sorry, Drive, going to come in with his Marv. He needs to get a Space Command uplink down, I think, just to deal with this. The Husk will be destroyed. That's a nice work there by Drive. I feel that he didn't need to lose that MCV. Could have pushed in forward and dealt with the Juggernauts. I kind of knew from the start that this was one of the things he could have done. Yeah, he needs something other than the Marv to deal with these Jugs. Jugs are just going to be pushed back and they're going to defend from behind the buildings. But if Futurama doesn't move these out of the way, then the Marv will just come into range and kill them. Oh my god, he notices late, much like... wow, this is because there's a few Prez in the back of the base. I guess he was focused on that. But yeah, if this War Factory goes down, there's going to be no more Juggernauts being produced. The Marv is taking damage. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. He's going to get destroyed now by the Shockwave. Wow, sells it off immediately for the Zone Trooper. Futurama quite desperately trying to stop this. Look at that, 2 Juggernauts. Is that really all it takes to deal with this? Man, that's so... Wait. That's unfortunate. Okay, gets 3 Jugs out now. A large part of the base of Futurama has been taken out, and Drive actually has a bottom field to harvest. Unfortunately for Drive, it looks like the tech center is still around. He didn't manage to kill that. Futurama here with the Sonic emitters. I guess that MCV that Drive had could have been what he needed to, you know, fend back against those additional Juggernauts. Wouldn't have gone up into such high numbers. Now he's just going to spam them out, man, because he knows against Zocom that's really the only thing he needs. And anti-air pitballs as well. Also kill them. But yeah, Drive's probably in the chat saying, I wish I didn't lose that MCV. I could have won this Kane sooner if I did that. He's going to go into Hammerheads now. I think if Futurama pushes without support, he could be in trouble. But yeah, he's going for an upgrade. It's taking way too long to be anything other than slingshots. He's going for an additional MCV as well. So yeah, he's not going to take any chances. He knows that there's probably going to be something coming along the lines of Hammerheads. But this second MCV is going to be really devastating. Drive has plenty eco on the right side. In fact, I think he has more Tib compared to Future, but Future has been letting his fields regrow. Tib field in the middle as well, probably been harvested by either side. Didn't keep track of that though. Firehawks will be coming out. He's going to give away the fact that he's got them. Maybe he could come in and bomb the tech center before the tungsten shells is done. Does he have Stratifighters online? No, he does not. I'm not sure what he's going to try and do here. I mean, he could try and kill the tier 2, but yeah, that's just going to take 15 seconds though. Whoa, what's that? Wow. I think that was a mistake there by Drive. Yeah, he's probably a bit on edge here. He's going for infantry. Drive at the moment, trying to spam that out. I think Zone Raiders would be a better option, but yeah, against double MCB, against that AP ammo tower spam, it's going to be really difficult with infantry. But yeah, he's got 8 Firehawks out. He's pumped out 8 Firehawks like really quickly. Wow, those rearms really quickly as well. What's he going to do? Is he going to go in and try and kill the MCV? I guess he could go in and kill the tech center. An armory does come down. A space command uplink as well. If he finds that, he could just assign 1 Firehawk to kill it. But he's going to come in here. Oh my god. Oh, look, he sees it. He sees it. He's going to go and bomb it now. Are you going to go and bomb it? You're pretty sure you have bombs, man. Unless those are an anti-air loadout. Maybe he expects there to be Firehawks of his opponent as well. Of course, Zocom Hawks in those skirmishes do always prevail just because they have so much more armor. I think it's like double the armor or something crazy like that. Juggernauts still being made by Futurama, man. This is just pure abuse, isn't it? On this map especially. This is just really, I mean, this is the map. This is why I don't like this map, because it ends up being artillery versus artillery, and that's really what I don't like about this game in general. One of the only things I don't like about it. I'm not sure if Red Alert 1's like that. I mean, I've seen that Tesla core spam is really powerful. It's like Black Hand on steroids, from what I've heard. And like having multiple queues in Red Alert 1, if you have multi-MCV, it just speeds up the production of the one queue you have. So it's like you can queue stuff really quickly. In fact, if you have so many MCVs, you can just make stuff instantly. And that's pretty crazy, isn't it? Oh my god. Yeah, this is not good, isn't it? I mean, if he bombs Juggernauts, he would only get one Juggernaut. The Marv is not out. I guess he feels it's a waste of time considering... Oh, actually, the Marv's up here. That's a good choice. Is he moving his MCV up there as well? Wow. Okay, this is an interesting strategy here by Drive. He's got the Firehawks, but he's flying over the AA. Oh, yes, he will kill the power plants. Well. Oh, support power's coming down here, probably to delay the push. The Juggernauts have been assigned to the top of the map. Oh my god, they're way out of position though. They're trying to kill this Marv. The Marv has been unspotted. He's going to come in here, take out the rest of this base. If he takes it to tier 2, that will deny the rebuilding of that tier 3. And wow, is Drive really going to come through and destroy this base? The MCV has been fenced, which means there's going to be no towers. No towers at all being dropped. The infantry needs to go get out of suppression. They need to target down these Juggernauts. If they can deal with those, then they have a really good shot at killing us. Wow, Drive. What is this comeback we're seeing here, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my god. What has he done? What a genius, man. Sending that Marv at the top of the map. Holy crap. I was just about to write him off. I was thinking, yeah, he's going to go fire hammerheads, and then Drive's just going to... Futurama is going to counter it with tungsten slingshot. Never would have expected the freaking Firehawk transition play. Oh my god. And he made it work excellently. Oh, there is sniper teams out though. So those will slowly whittle down this infantry force. Oh, sells up the buildings here for the AP hammer rifles because there's just no anti-infantry here. The MCV has been taking damage this whole while. The Marv is full HP. Unfortunately, the MCV will probably be destroyed. Yeah, that goes down. Does he have an MCV though? No, he does not. Oh my god, that's unfortunate. Drive has no MCV. But the Marv is going to be here. He's going to take out all of this base. And that is going to be GG. Oh my god. Futurama loses that game. That is an epic game, man. What a comeback from Drive in that game. Huge congratulations to him in that game. I've never seen that before. Never. On that map, never. He was behind an eco. Futurama was ahead in eco, man. My mind's just blown. It's just blown. I can't explain what just happened there, but he just made the impossible happen. Alright guys, we're going to continue with more games. Just going to keep on going. It is getting hot here. I may have to open the window after this game. But holy crap, that last game was just insane in every way. Do we even just send that to Cyber, man? That was just crazy in my opinion. I mean, maybe not like in... I don't know if you guys thought it was entertaining to watch, but... Jesus, like winning that game against GDI on that map, you guys have to understand how difficult that is. It is damn near impossible. Drive made it work though. The Firehawks, he really made it work with the Firehawks. I think when we see him go in with the 8 Firehawks at one point, 4 of them were on anti-air loadout, so he was expecting the Firehawks to come from Futurama. That was a really smart play as well. Drive is on point today. Buzz is getting taken out. In fact, I didn't even reveal the factions in this game. I don't even know what they are. Oh, of course, we know that Drive's going to be yellow, non-vanilla, and on the right side, Futurama is going to be Scrin of some sort. We didn't see Fast Leg Descent, so probably not going to be Traveler 59. He's going to be Scrin Vanilla. So we got a classic Nod v Scrin. Probably one of my favorite matchups, actually. I do like this one a lot. Used to play it a lot back in the day, especially versus Technique and the sort. Against Bikers, it's just Black Hand. Traveler versus Black Hand, which wasn't nearly as exciting. Because, yeah, Black Hand often... I mean, he just lost to the Prodigy all the time, so it wasn't the same as the games that I had versus Technique, where it was just, you know, Scorp the tripods and things like that. It was more diverse. It wasn't just one tactic, is what I'm saying. Can't go purely for sharded seekers as Scrin unless your opponent is going for fast tech stealth tanks or something like that. Laser Scorps will shut down Scrin tier 1 pretty hard. So Futurama needs to strike a balance between his tier 1 and tier 3. He needs to go for tier 3 pretty pronto, I think, just so he can build the most optimal units for the resources that he has. He doesn't want to spend half a field making Seekers when his opponent's making Scorpion tanks, because yeah, half a field of Scorpion tanks is going to just massacre the Seekers. So yeah, he needs to be careful, right? Like, that's something that you have to take into account. And as you take the blue Tiberium, I feel that Seekers is just going to be a really bad idea, because yeah, the Seekers will compensate for that. These guys going to share this field down here. Futurama is actually taking more tib than what Drive is, because he's taking the top field as well. He gets away with almost a half load of blue Tiberium. I guess he's pretty happy with that. He's got a full load here and half a tank there. So yeah, Futurama is going to be happy with that. He denies the Harvester here. This Harvester will probably be fine, I think. 2 Seekers though will probably chase back. I guess he feels he can't take that out. He had 5 Seekers there, but yeah, it's close to the War Factory, and once it gets around there for repairs, it's just hard to kill. But it'll be interesting to see what Drive does in this game. He's going to go for infantry. Of course, Drive is super unorthodox. He's like the modern day Unleashed, but you know, his strategies actually worked most of the time, whereas Unleashed were just really gimmicky. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Unleashed was really fun to play, but he just failed a lot of the time. Much like me and my rig. I mean, you guys get to see the best games of the rig, but I can't tell you how many times I failed with it. But that's how you know. That's how you can find out new strategies, right? You have to be prepared to lose games to find new things. You just have to, right? You can't be concerned over win-loss when you want to innovate. Seekers will get pushed back. Look how cost ineffective they are versus the Scorps. 3 Seekers go down there for really not much at all. Refineries will be spread out sufficiently for Futurama. No one click will be devastating here. Seekers... looks like he's not going for them anymore. I mean, I would go for Seekers still at this point, just in case there is stealth tanks. Descents here for Futurama, just to kill these spikes unless he wants to take them over. But I feel it's probably worth it just taking it back. Oh, flame tank here, wow. Not sure if this is just coincidental or what, but yeah, this is going to work out for Drive. If he's paying attention, you should be able to kill these descents. Oh my god, what a... I think that's just a coincidence though, because yeah, usually you see 1 or 2 flame tanks around the back. Usually it is to kill one refinery while the one click destroys the other, basically setting back your opponent 2 refineries. Flame tank will be reversed back. Yeah, he's going to be retreating. Descent as well in the south for Futurama. Just a scout to see what Drive's doing. Of course, the window for scouting could be closing soon if Futurama, or rather Drive, goes for the disruption towers. Flame tank will, of course, be spotted. Of course, it was earlier seen. He did save the spike there with this, so that's kind of cool. Flame tanks will be destroyed, so yeah, flame tanks not doing too much. Redeemer will be out soon. Tech center is on the field for Futurama, which means we can expect to see tripods coming out soon to deal with this Redeemer. Drive isn't too healthy here when it comes to eco. His refineries aren't spaced, aren't positioned the best. It looks more like my refinery placement. But then again, even when he played against me, he just had woeful ref placements, man. Like, he seems to be taking a leaf out of my book, right? So yeah, tier spike will get destroyed. Flame tanks are pretty buggy. I like to force fight the ground with them because they just tend to bug a lot and not shoot properly. But I think that flame tank's done what it could have achieved. He gets the spike, which is, you know, going to deny income to the scrim player. But yeah, the scrim player will have passive resources if he gets a hex spot out. So yeah, that's one thing that Drive has to make a counter for now. He's got emp buggies, or rather the emp cores, just for that very instance. If I were Drive, I would be a bit worried about a commando here, because just one gunwalker coming into the base does look a bit suspicious, doesn't it? Does he have a commando? No commando for Futurama. He's going for tripods. Shields does come online. Mechapedes here, going to be a real nuisance. Does fence the refinery. Not sure if they would have got that anyways. Infantry out as well for Drive. He could use the redemption support power on that and just endlessly emp the tripods once they come in. He needs to get some disruption towers down as well. That's Nod's strength. If he gets one out here, then that's going to be really good for him. I'm surprised he put it there, because now he's going to reveal the true extent of his force on this field, but I don't think that Futurama is going to scout there anyways. He's not going for Devastator warships, no anti-infantry to speak of besides these 3 mechas, which will die if he's not paying attention. He will see the infantry now though. Gravity stabilizer does come down for dev ships. This is the time where I'd go for beam cannons, man. Beam cannon, Venom, you know, blast them out of the sky with the reflector beam ability, really powerful. Every time I used it against Green Zero, he's like, oh yeah, Leaf just used that bug again. But no, man, it's an ability in the game. It's a feature, right? Just because I use that doesn't mean it's a bug. It's actually a really effective way of countering that. And it looks like Drive made a mistake. He ordered all of his harvesters to return the base there. He must have had them all off the line or something. Must have panicked a bit. But yeah, Mecha Pete will be here. His income probably will be stalling for that. Unless he's blowing a fair bit here. But yeah, Drive needs Tib Core like right now to deal with this. Unless he's going for beam cannons, like I said. He needs either beam cannons or Tib Core. No laser capacitors on his buggies either. Those are a pretty good anti-infantry option. Mecha Beasts just being a real pain in the ass in the back, aren't they? There's no Hexapod out in the field for Futurama. That's the one thing that he's lacking. He can, I mean, the Stasis Shield is really what's going to be a real nuisance. What's going to happen is he's going to get wind of this Redeemer. He's going to Stasis the Redeemer, and then he's going to just move in close range, MP it with the tripods, essentially just knocking it out of the game. So what he could do, Drive, he could decoy his Redeemer. Decoy his Redeemer, but if he stealthed it already, then of course it won't work. But if you decoy it and put it over here, it could force the stasis on the decoy, and that would be just amazing, right? If he did that, that would be just game winning if he does that, because then the rage gen goes off, kills the whole army, and then Skrin would be screwed then. Buggy's here to respond. Obelisk comes down. How good's the headshots? It's pretty good for Drive. Gets it straight away. A load of infantry will spot the Devastator warships out. Hexapod is halfway done for Futurama. Both sides here not going to set up shop with Eco just yet. I think Drive's in a better position to do that. His army's massive here. But then again, look how much Tib he's harvested compared to Futurama. For some reason, Futurama hasn't harvested this. Granted, he does have a growth stimulator there, but yeah, really, he needed. I don't know. Maybe he didn't build enough harvesters earlier. I like what he's got here with the buggies. Like if you combine the stealth with the buggies, like if he's got no stealth detection, Futurama, then basically he can just run into a buggy and get emped straight away. Or momentarily off powered down. As Unleashed famously said in Kane's Rough World Championship, power down. But yeah, double Engineer Redeemer for Drive. He's going to be pretty tanky. Of all the epic units, double Engineer Redeemers do heal the fastest. Putting simulators in the Hexapod's pretty useless because, you know, they get Corruptors to heal their Hex. It's just bad anyways. Like even if you compare it to the Redeemer or the Marv, the Hex just heals really slowly with simulators inside of it. It's just really bad. This is building way too slowly to be an anti-air, so it's probably going to be a Obelisk. He doesn't see the Redeemer. He's just moving into this, man. Like if he gets a Rage Gen off here, Drive, then he's going to be in business. I would get a, whatchamacallit down here, a Catalyst Missile. He could kill all these Corruptors, man. That's one quick way of doing that. Rage Gen does go off. The phase will, oh, he could have used the Rage Gen after the Hex Ball was empty, because then he could have denied the phase field, because now he's going to use the phase field, right? And once he's used the phase field, then this Hex will be, wow, is this still taking damage from the Rage Gen? Though there's still Corruptors here. Oh, he gets that teleported back. That's unfortunate. And now the Devastator warships are going to be a problem. He has nothing really to deal with that. Redemption support power does come down. He needs to empt this Hexapod though somehow. Buster Storm comes down. Not sure where it was though. Oh, it didn't do anything. Why was that? Could have been the Ion Storms. I'm not sure. I don't think Ion Storms do friendly damage. No, they definitely do not. What am I talking about? Emp squads though will be coming down. Does he have any more Emp to throw down? Yes, he does, but it's only 5 or so seconds. The Redeemer has used its Rage Gen, so yeah, these tripods here are going to be taking out these units. Oh my god, this is going to be a really close fight, but there's just Devastator warships above, which are uncontested. There's bikes though, which should be focusing on that. He should be assigning those bikes to that very task. infantry spam being taken. Oh, what was that? It looks like an avatar just got captured, though destroyed quickly afterwards. No one bothered setting up eco here. In fact, yeah, there is eco. Tripods will be getting taken out. Oh, wow, getting one taken out straight away there. The hexapod, though, should be getting emptied by buggies. Is there any more buggies being just built? Drive is trying to hold this back. He's trying desperately to do this. The hexapod was destroyed, I think. Yeah, it was definitely destroyed. What was that? A few bikes here. Oh my god, hexapod is getting way more than we're buying for. Of course, it still generates resources, by the way, when it's empty. The Redeemer should have a rage gen done soon, but he's getting taken out. There's so much damage here. In fact, what's he doing? The hexapod has... Oh, what am I talking about? The hexapod, of course, was alive. He does use that. The Redeemer has not been stealth. In fact, the stealth tower probably doesn't even range this. Or I don't know if he's stealthed it earlier or what, but yeah, he's just in the radius of that. I'm going to retreat though here. This is just going to give Futurama the opportunity to take back these husks. Yeah, I don't feel this is working too well for Drive. I think he should have had Beam Venom to deal with it. Devastator warships. You need something to kill those, otherwise the infantry is going to be useless. Wow. It's only really these... it's only Traveler infantry that don't get countered by these. But every other infantry unit in the game just gets massacred by Devastator warships. I mean, if only Scrin had something that could target Trav Inf, you know, fast-moving Inf. Not just Trav Inf, but like Tip Troopers and the such. But you don't see that being oppressive because, yeah, it's actually a balanced unit, right? Tip Troopers. Traveler, Advanced Leg Infantry, not so much. Cultists can take, you know, any unit in the game except epic units. And they cost $1,000. Compare that to what? A Tip Trooper, which costs $800, $900, and all it does is just slows down enemy vehicles and does bugger all damage besides that. But yeah, I'm of course deep diving a bit too much into the game. I just do feel that if you're making fast infantry, they shouldn't be super powerful at the same time. Their strength should be just fast infantry, not fast infantry and best infantry at the same time. Rage gen does come off. Did I write Drive off so soon? I don't know. The Redeemer does heal up really quickly, doesn't it, with the double engineer? I don't think I did mention GG, but does Drive have an MCV? No, he does not. Wow. Does he have his tech center? Yes, he does. He can use the redemption support power once again. He's been taking blue Tiberium this whole while. He does have 2 spikes, whereas Futurama has only 1. Futurama, though, has 5 Devastator warships, man. That's just all he needs, really, against all this infantry. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much inf there is. They're just going to take huge splash damage. It's going to take multiple rage gens to thin this army out. There's a few husks here as well, which Futurama could take over. He's not doing that, though. Commando is here. Oh, teleports in a few engineers. Not sure if he has a portal elsewhere on the map. But yeah, this is a pretty fun series to watch, guys. I actually love watching these guys play. I think I casted these very 2 before. In fact, no, I think it was Shock Trooper versus Drive. But yeah, these Russian-speaking players do have a lot of experience now. They've gotten a lot better. And yeah, redemption support power does come down. But these death ships, man, with the shields, it's just going to be so hard to kill. Gets the imp on the hexapod, but yeah, it's the least of his worries really right now. He needs to kill the dev ships. The tripods are coming in. The rage gen, not sure if it was fired off earlier, but yeah, Storm coming down as well just to inflict even more damage. Drive not going to give it in though just yet. He feels he still can win this, but there is harvesting here for Futurama unimpeded, which means he can queue even more Devastator warships, even more planetary assault carriers if he wants. I'm not even sure if he realizes there's only just infantry being made and there's no MCV. If he does, then he wouldn't need to build more tripods. Yeah, he's only making gun walkers now. And he's making more corruptors for his hexapod. But yeah, the hexapod is taking damage. Devastator warships will be pushed forward as well. All these infantry will be stacked up, which means they're just going to be juicy targets for the dev ships. Tripods will be trying to kill this Redeemer. The Redeemer will escape. Looks like it was cloaked earlier. It just almost escaped death. But yeah, Futurama going to win that game. Drive can't contend with the dev ships, and that's going to be it. So yeah, that's a really well played to Drive. I'm surprised that he, he was behind there, but he looked like he was going to win that middle fight if he only had something to deal with the freaking air, right? That was, the Devastator warships just completely trashed him. Alright guys, I'm just going to keep on casting these 2 just because they are pretty fun to watch, and I've been enjoying myself watching these games thus far. But yeah, anyways, up in the top of the map of Tournament Creator is going to be Futurama playing as the Cyan Nod. And down in the bottom, his adversary, his opponent, it's going to be Drive playing as the green GDI Nod. Of course it was Nod. What am I talking about? I mean, It is Nod, right? Yeah, see? Hand of Nod. Speaking of Hand of Nod, I was looking at Tibsun photos the other day, and I've got to say, the Tibsun Hand of Nod is just way better. It just looks way more badass compared to the Kane's Wrath C&C3 one. And to me, the remastered Hand of Nod looks like Hobbit homes. It just reminds me of it for some reason. But yeah, Tibsun Hand of Nod, the best. But yeah, this map, we know it for the map where epic units get killed countless amount of times on these bridge sections, because they are destroyable. Bridge gate houses, never clicked on this before, but yeah, if you put engineers in those, obviously it repairs the bridge. In fact, I think you learned this in the tutorial of the C&C3 campaign. It's like, in fact, no, it was the first GDI mission that you had to repair a bridge, as though it was an important mechanic that you had to learn. But ultimately, it just became a very gimmicky thing, and it was never seen in multiplayer. So yeah, good job EA teaching us the fundamentals of the game, really. Well done. Black Hand squad here, just one Black Hand. He's not Black Hand, you know, the faction Black Hand, so that's going to be not so good for drive because it's just going to do mediocre damage. One Black Hand squad is not too good. I would have gone for a flame tank, me personally. Does he already have one on the map? It's likely that he does, but I just can't see it because, you know, the minimap is awful. That remastered minimap looks a lot better. You can see units on it. I mean, granted, it does look very pixelated. Not very padded, but... Oh my god. What? It's a bikes here for drive. He's going for more bikes. The Reckoner has been spotted as well for Futurama. We'll get shot up on the retreat. Are there any bikes here in the red? No, there is not. Let's bring it to help us on this occasion just to see if there's any micro going on here for the bike v bike. Of course, it's really hard to click on the enemy bikes. If you can, then yeah, you can do some pretty sick things. But usually neither side are willing to commit into an engagement unless they have way more than the other guy, just because it's hard to control this sort of thing. We'll try and take a swipe at the bridge. I'm not sure if that has any strategic advantages at this point in time. But yeah, there's defensive towers in the left and right side of the map. I've noticed this like last week. I was like, really? There's towers there? What good are they? Seriously, what are they going to do for you? I haven't seen a single game on this map where those do anything. I guess it would only make sense if your opponent takes this. I have no idea. But yeah, it's a pretty good map, I have to say. I have had a good amount of time on this map. You know me from the Mutant Hovel. I really did love making mutants in this map. And of course, I will continue to make mutants when we play 1.03. I do plan to come back to Kane's Wrath after the remasters. I'm not sure how long I will play the remasters for, but I'm thinking of doing some Kane's Wrath content and remaster content at the same time. I'm not going to leave this game, man. Like, I don't see C&C1 and RA1 being a replacement for this for me. What I do see is 1.03 gaining in popularity, and maybe we can, you know, change CGF's mind on a few things. I think he would be open for it, as long as we accept the fundamentals of what it is, which is, you know, epic units being not the be or end all of the game, and one clicks not being super powerful, you know, that sort of thing. Which I totally understand is pretty, you know, acceptable. Also, multi-MCV shouldn't be ridiculously OP as well. You guys will see by the tournament finals that I played with Futurama, that, not Futurama, the other guy, you know, that guy, that multi-MCV is just busted. It just is. Best strategy for each faction, multi-MCV, simple as that. Maybe except Skren. In Skren's case, just tripods is good. Wow, that was not good for drive. He just suicided in all those bikes and didn't get... Did he get the harvester? Man, am I blind here? He may have just got the harvester there. Futurama is not in a good position. Drive has two harvesters here. Eco is pretty good for drive, though. His macro isn't doing so well. Harvester. War Factory offline. Not sure how long that was in that state for. Probably floating a fair bit of funds if he hasn't been queuing anything. No, he's actually been noticing it pretty quickly. Drive and Futurama are actually playing really on point here. These guys are so evenly matched. I mean, you can't get much more even than this. This is why I just enjoy watching these two play, because seriously, you do not have a clue who's going to win. They did it just so evenly matched. Oh, Futurama here. What's he going to do? He's going to move forward. He's got 4 tanks, so I guess if you do the math, 4v3, you're going to win that. But he may want to push back now, unless he's focused elsewhere. There's a few bikes for Futurama. In the top of the map, you're going to scout 4 harvesters. Oh, look at this. Drive was waiting in the corner, but Futurama sniffed this out. Wow. This guy with his game sense, he's really good at sniffing these things out. Unfortunately, though, versus Bike Rush, he just seems to collapse. Like, Bike Rush has his number when he plays him. Bike Rush just knows exactly what Futurama's going to do. He even says it, he said it to me in Discord as well. Look, I know what Futurama's going to do. I know what Senna's going to do. I just know what to do against them. But so far, I haven't been able to pinpoint what Futurama does every game. In fact, today, he's played really good versus me. In fact, he's done some things I've never seen him do before. So it could be just a confidence thing. It could be that he's just not confident playing against Bike Rush. These are Futurama's bikes, so yeah, he's going to get some repairs for those. In fact, they're already at full health. One of them is Veteran. He's just going to chill here with his eco. I think Drive is slightly ahead though. In fact, no, both sides are pretty even, I'd say. This is a really weird game. This looks like a mirror from either side. Tier 2 is down for both, though the Dozer Blade upgrade will be done sooner for Drive. That could be pivotal in this engagement, though Drive won't have the defender's advantage. That's one thing going for Futurama. And guys, I feel that we have another game on our hands here. Wow, Reckoner with Dozer Blades on it, taking advantage of that defensive upgrade. You don't see that too often. That's one thing I experimented with back in the day, but yeah, it just doesn't work so well. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what this does. I mean, it will tank more damage, but there's just more tanks at this stage of the game, so that minor increase doesn't do too much, really, in the grand scheme of things. Avatars now coming out, as well as a tip vein for Drive. Drive's already taken off the tier 3. In fact, both sides are 1 click coming down, which means we can expect the other 1 click to come down soon. I'm not sure if Futurama has another refinery queued. He probably anticipates this. Now the Scorp tanks are in here, trying to push forward. Lobbers will be one-shotting these down. Going to aim down the War Factory. Not sure if he's going to get it. If he sticks around here, Drive, he will be focused. He will be paying it quite dearly for this, actually. I don't think it's worth it, man. Getting the War Factory, but then losing all the Scorps is just not worth it. If he sticks around here, he's going to lose all of his tanks, man. That's just totally not worth it. What's this going to be? It's going to be a tip bomb. Oh my god, almost takes out the refinery, actually. Wow, Drive, he's relentless. He hasn't done the 1 click, though, which matters most, the tip catalyst missile. And wow, look at this. Futurama has been inflicting the same hurt on Drive. He's here. Oh my god, wow. You know what, guys, you know what I think what happened there? I can confirm it to you, but I think that Futurama, actually no, it wouldn't have been. Actually no, he could have killed that with the Scorps, but I think he got the tip chemical plant and the refinery. I think they were close to one another. Oh my god, is this going to be a tip vapor bomb from Futurama? This could be like a, you know, dominance establishment sort of thing here. Going, look at that. These guys pretty much mirroring each other. This is the most amount of mirror I've seen in a single game. This is pretty crazy. These guys, I think Drive's in a better spot though. Can't be too certain on that. Drive definitely has the better army. He's got all these tanks out, Scorpion tanks, no lasers, but he's getting it now. With lasers, I think he should be able to overwhelm avatars. It'd be interesting to see what Futurama does now, if he wants to go into that heavy armor with the avatars and the Redeemer, or if he wants to transition and go into Scorpion spam. I think he's in a worse position to go Scorps though, because he doesn't have the Dozer Blades. He hasn't researched that yet. Spikes will be destroyed though for Futurama. That's unfortunate. Wow. Drive's got 2 spikes, whereas Futurama has none, so that's a pretty huge advantage for him. Obelisk does come down though, will probably go and offline on power. Not power plants do tank a lot of damage. AM does come down, or it comes down on the Avatar. In fact, where's the M center on this map? I keep forgetting where it is. In fact, I think I played a game versus Drive, and I was like, what the hell? He just killed me with an EMP. And then I totally forget he had it, and then he just amps me again, and then all of a sudden I'm just getting nuked out of the game, and thought I almost had the game. Just crazy turn of events that one was. I think I was still Talons in that game. You can find it in one of my recent FPVs. It was the played last month. I had a really epic game versus him. Yeah, I mean epic in my books. I mean if I remember it, then it's epic. Otherwise I just forget about it. But oh my god, this base is getting torn up here. There's nothing to hold this back. tech center will be destroyed, which means obelisk will be cancelled. He's going to have a lot of funds though. His best bet here would be just to place down a barracks, get a few fanatics down. Fanatics are super good in this spot. Scorp tanks can't crush them. They're a bit like disintegrators, where if you crush them, you get punished for doing so. But yeah, this base will be destroyed here. Yeah, this refinery will go down, I think. Drive has got an expansion down here. Futurama is the type, though, who is very resilient. But he's going to throw it in here, seeing how he is so behind. And wow, that takes it to what, 2-2? Both sides are really even. Just taking games from one another. These guys here, they really are giving us a good show, I have to say. Alright, guys. I want to cast all these games. These guys will probably go on forever. We'll see how I do after this game. I mean, it's probably going to be like a 2-part video at this point, really. But I'm just going to keep casting the games. And yeah, I'm sure you guys are going to be interested in watching these two play. These two do put on a show for us. But down up in the top of the map, we can see Futurama playing as the Vanilla Nod. He's going to be Cyan, sticking with his color. And down in the bottom, we can see Drive playing as Scrin of some sort. He's got 1 Dissent now. He's probably going to be Scrin or Reaper. We can check based on the player stats here. It does tell both factions what they are. Reaper 17. Okay, Reaper versus Nod. Futurama did Nod versus me earlier today, and I was Reaper. I actually specifically picked Reaper, and he kept going for infantry because he knows that infantry are really good versus Reaper, and I tend to agree with him. Yeah, Reaper, they have the Shardwalker, but they don't have the Devastator warship, so they just don't have the same capability of killing infantry. And Gunwalkers are easy to kill compared to Dev ships. You know, mostly because Gunwalkers are not artillery units. And once you get into the firing line of avatars and redeemers and such, it's just really hard to kill infantry. So that sort of army mix is so hard to overcome as Reaper. It's not just the infantry. You guys have to understand that it's a composition of units. And your composition as Reaper is just not that good compared to the Nod guy. But what does equalize that is the Stasis Shield. The Stasis Shield on an epic unit can instantly turn things around. And that's why I say it's best to use the Stasis Shield on the enemy epic unit, not on anything else. Unless you're early in the game and you want to use it on, for example, his tier 2 to cancel his tech. But this cooldown on that is like of a super weapon, so you need to use it wisely. Stasis Shield is really what Reaper 17 needs to win. It is so pivotal that they use it correctly, otherwise they're going to lose the game. So yeah. And we've seen in the whatchamacallit game, the tournament Rift game, you know, that Tiberium Rift game, that the Stasis Shield was used to kill or to knock down a few Titans, and he wasted his best support power to lock down a few Titans, which ultimately killed his tech center. So yeah, that was a perfect example of why you should use a Stasis Shield perfectly. It wasn't a good use there because he didn't have anything to contend with the Titans, so probably could have saved it for another engagement with the Mav tanks in the top, which he really lost in the end. But you know, dividing the army in two could have just won him the game. But when you panic and when it's in real time, of course, you can make mistakes. Mistakes do happen. I mean, we're only human. One bike does come out though for Futurama. He's going to scout. The bikes in the remaster look really good. I was looking at the 4K. Wait, what's that? Man, there's some weird things in this map. I'm not sure where Tenny got these assets from. I think it's Red Alert 3. I'm not sure. Guys, have you seen these things in Red Alert 3? Or did he import them from somewhere else? Yeah, I've heard that C&C3 was used as well. Does make a change though. I mean, look, you have to admit, Kane's Wrath graphically has aged really well relative to like the other games. Look, if you look at Generals, to me, Generals just looks garbage, man. Graphically, that game is awful. To me, Red Alert 2 is a much better looking game. You know, the old 2D sprite games is way better than the early 3D games. I think when it comes to Command & Conquer, it just looks so like grim. The textures are really bad in Generals. It just looks so, you know, there's no color. There's hardly any color at all. But yeah, I like this game for its graphics. I know it's a pretty, you know, a lot of people would say it's a pitiful reason to like a game because of its graphics, but really, it's part of the experience, man. That's why I'm so interested in playing these remasters, because 25 gigabytes, you can bet your ass that there's going to be a lot of detail in the game. If they're advertising it for 4K monitors and 4K displays, then there's going to be a lot of detail in the game. It's going to be way more than this. I have image sharpening though in the driver, so the textures in this game look a lot better than what they would normally. But I haven't been talking about this game, but yeah, let's talk about this game now. Bikes will be coming in. Futurama, he's getting a bit sloppy here with his control. Last game, he probably is a bit tilted from last game because it was quite a devastating loss there. Pretty weird mirror. Oh my god, there's a few descents here for drive. Is he going to take out this harvest here? In fact, descents with that. Oh my god, that was close. He's not going to achieve anything here, actually. He's going to try and spot this harvester, but he's not going to get it. And ultimately, that will just delay drive just a little bit. Futurama with the control there. Look, pulling back his harvester that's wounded. He's really good in this game nowadays. Definitely competitive. Surprised he didn't do too well versus me in the tournament. He did mention that he woke up like just as it started, which is never a good thing, is it? But it wasn't too bad really time-wise. It was like started at 9 o'clock at night for me, which isn't too bad. I mean, you shouldn't be asleep really in Russia at 9 o'clock at night. But yeah. This push doesn't look like it's going to be stopped. Is this going to be stopped? Unless he has an obelisk queue, this is going to be a problem. Futurama, I haven't seen him go down like this before. As easy as this. Refinery will be destroyed. The Sins are just really pesky though, aren't they? He's trying to queue a watchtower to disintegrate whatchamacallit. Wow, blue shards? Really? Oh, this could be it. What do we have over here? A few bikes. They're going to be taking out harvesters or trying to, but yeah, the disintegrator squads will probably deal with that. Blue shard walkers will kill these bikes outright. There we go. They will go down. And wow, that forced Futurama to sail both of his refineries. That was unfortunate. Going to pull his house up to the top of the map. And that is probably... I don't know. I mean, he gets the one click off Futurama. That's probably the least he can hope for. He needs to get a refinery up like ASAP. He's trying to build one. I'm not sure if he has the funds to. He has a lot of harvesters. Give him that. It's definitely not over just yet. If I were Drive, I would be just spamming tons of tripods out now, or even going for the upgrade for his Seekers, which is the shard launchers. Oh, MCV, secondary MCV, but if you don't have any funds, no refineries, then you can't really push with obelisks unless he has an obelisk queue now. Yeah, it's just not going to work. Especially against Seekers, this is like the worst time to do a multi-MCV, especially as Nod, because as Nod you don't have particle beams and you really need those just to ping the shields off the Seekers so you can then one-shot them with the obelisk. That's important. And when do you see so many blue shard walkers against Nod? It's only like 30% more damage compared to the green ones. The Futurama will throw it in there. I haven't seen him do too much multi-MCV. Maybe he's always known about it, but just refused to do it. But yeah, he's going to go down that game, unfortunately. I think I will do one more game, though, and then I'll call it quits. So yeah, we won't end on that. We'll go and play. We'll go see if Futurama can bring it back. Alright, guys, this will be the last game that I'm going to cast in this series. And my webcam may have been a bit, off this series, but I wanted to get into it quickly. I didn't like how my FPV failed completely because of the the aforementioned issue in the start. But yeah, this will be most likely a 2-part video. It's just going to be huge, this video. It's going to be like what, an hour, 2 hours long? Feels like I've been casting for a long time now. There's just been that many games. These guys just don't run out of stamina. However, I do, especially when I'm commentating. Spartacus though, he just could commentate for like ever, man. Like he casted those tournaments. It was like 7 hours. Granted, it was 7 hours, wasn't 7 hours non-stop commentary, but yeah, near enough it. Anyways, up in the top we can see playing as the purple screen is going to be Drive, aka Figure. And down in the bottom we can see Futurama playing as the Cyan Nod Vanilla. So it's going to be Scrin versus Nod once again. That Scrin versus Nod we've seen on Highlands was pretty entertaining. Almost came for Drive. He unfortunately didn't have any answer to the dev ships. This time probably will want to invest into something better than what he had against dev ships. Maybe Like I said, beam, cannon, venom, or he could go for just venom strictly. Get the laser upgrade. Laser venom's quite good at their purpose, killing aircraft. But yeah, Futurama is going to get underway with an expansion here, as well as Drive, I would imagine. Both guys are going to set up shop in the top plateau here. Kind of a weird map. Like it looks really arid, and then suddenly there's grassland. It just doesn't blend that well. I never thought it did. It just looks so out of place to me personally. But yeah, it's all about the map though. It's not just about how the map looks. And what the hell's going on? Oh no, figure, don't do this, man. Oh no, man. Really? Are we really going to end this series like this? We'll wait a bit. If not, I may just call it quits here then, guys. I know it wasn't an abrupt end to a series, but it is getting on here, and I need to get up in there tomorrow morning. This will probably be it for me. Yeah, these guys have left. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to probably just end it here. I know it was an abrupt end. I apologize, but yeah, I'm probably not going to edit this out. I mean, I could edit it out, but yeah, I don't really fancy it. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Anyways, I'm going to be offline now. So, yeah. See you later.